Human trafficking is something we hear a lot about when it comes to the border, but it's something that we don't really know about as much as we should. And that's because it's a massive business operating in the shadows. There's estimates the global human trafficking industry could be as high as $150 billion. And oftentimes people are trafficked in plain sight. More than 1 in 4 trafficking victims are kids. And it's happening all over America in towns big and small and cities far and wide. And most people have no idea it's happening. A new movie that came out yesterday aims to shed a light on that, and it's selling out in theaters across the country. It's called Sound of Freedom, and it has a very powerful message. It's based on the life of Tim Ballard, a former DHS special agent who specialized in rescuing child sex trafficking victims and then left the agency to found his own organization that helps locate missing kids. Take a look.
It is the fastest growing international crime network that the world has ever seen.
For Homeland Security, you know we can't go off rescuing Honduran kids in Colombia.
This job tears you to pieces. And this is my one chance to put those pieces back together.
And yet somehow you have failed to bring me one real-world lead.
It's over, Tim. Close up and come back home.
So you quit your job and you go and rescue those kids.
Former DHS special agent and founder of Operation Underground Railroad, Tim Ballard, joins me now. Tim, thank you so much for being here tonight. This is such a crucial topic that I think people kind of know is happening, but it's difficult for them to look at it. And you're shedding a light on it and bringing it to a place that people can see exactly what the problem is.
Yeah, we're thrilled that we have an opportunity to shine a light on what is the fastest growing criminal enterprise in the world. Like you said, $150 billion is made every year off the backs of slaves, including millions of children who are enslaved. And in the United States, we are the #1 demand for child exploitation material. We're letting children in by the tens of thousands into our country without vetting where they're going. So it's about time people wake up, and we hope this movie can do that.
You know, what kind of policies enable this kind of trafficking? I think people think it can't happen in their backyard. It only happens in faraway places, but it's happening right here. And as you just mentioned, America is the highest demand, which really is sickening.
It is sickening. We've ranked in the top 3 for destination countries. It's the economy of pedophilia, I call it, right? We have this huge demand here. And so no wonder we have tens of thousands of children being brought in unaccompanied, showing up at our borders, they're let in. It's no wonder that, there's a movement right now to destigmatize the word pedophile and call them minor attracted persons. There's a reason why our children are being sexualized, practically being given pornographic images by schools in the name of sex education. Children are under attack right now because in the economy of pedophilia, the United States stands at the top. And we need to stand up for these kids because right now, very few people really are doing that.
So you did a lot of work as a special agent at the Department of Homeland Security and decided to leave and do more in your capacity now. How did you get the idea for a movie to give people more information about this problem?
Well, honestly, it wasn't my idea, and I never dreamed it would happen. I was 12 years as a special agent, undercover operator with Homeland Security, 10 years on the border. You're seeing images of the border scenes right there. And then I was working on a couple of cases that fell outside the jurisdiction of the United States, and I had to quit my job to finish the cases, and they were so important to my wife and I that we did it. It ended in one of the first operations was this enormous hit in Colombia. It made national news. And then the producers came to us and said, this sounds like a movie. I didn't think they were actually going to do it, but 10 years later, here we are.
Yeah. When you think of hundreds of thousands of kids coming across the border, unaccompanied minors, as they say, it's just horrible to think what's happening to them. But when you watch this, you think, I'm not a parent, but there are a lot of parents out there. They think, how can I protect my kids or help kids who would maybe be in this position? Or how do I spot that this is happening in my community or when I'm in an airport? So what can people do? Obviously see the movie, but then what can they do to prevent this from happening to kids in America?
So parents, teachers, anyone who's looking out for kids, we need to find the access points. It used to be parks and playgrounds, not anymore. It's it's social media, it's online platforms. I executive produced a documentary that's out right now. I wanted to make sure it got out. So in the wake of Sound of Freedom, people could go to Amazon Prime. It's called It's Happening Right Here. And I talk about all the access points online and how parents can be aware and block their children, stand between their children and the predators who are looking for them.
Yeah, vigilance for sure. Tim Ballard, we look forward to seeing your film, and thank you so much for shining a light on this very dark but important issue. Thank you so much.
Thank you.